Hey guys. So I just spent 20 minutes doing a Facebook Live in my group that I thought was recording. And when I was done and I got ready to save it, um, it wouldn't save. It didn't record. Hilarious. I was like, did I just spend 20 minutes talking to myself? So I decided that I was going to pop on over here to my page. Hey guys, let me know you're here. Pop on over here to my page. Hey Mesa Hobby. And because I love you so much, I'm going to do it again. So I was doing a special little workshop with the folks in my group in Riot Starter Nation on how to be intentional. And so I was doing that because we spend so much time talking about how things are going to be different, but we put these blocks, we create these traps and these gaps, we fall into them, and we don't realize that we're falling into those gaps. So I just want to talk to you about, change and growth and starting a riot. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. You don't just pop it in the microwave and it happens. You actually have to do something. You actually have to be intentional about it. So I want to talk to you about some of the growth gaps and traps to be on the lookout for, so that you don't fall into them when you are building your empire. You're starting out and starting your riot. Okay. So the first one is the assumption gap, where we just assume that we're going to grow. We assume that things are just going to happen. And the reality is that it's not going to happen automatically. Hey, Derek, things don't just happen automatically. You have to put some effort behind it. So imagine this. Imagine this is a pack of seeds, and the seeds, you keep talking about you want a garden, but you just keep carrying these seeds around with you. In order to have a garden, you've got to plant the seeds. In order to start a riot, you gotta get into action. You have to take those steps. Okay. So, if these seeds are your book, I want to write a book, we'll write the book. Get into action. I want a new business. I want to start a business. Get into action. So whatever it is that you're making the assumption about that it's going to happen eventually, it's not going to happen eventually until you get into action. The second thing is the knowledge gap. And sometimes I fall into it, but if I catch my brain wanting to go there, I reconfigure it before it even solidifies to come out of my mouth. And so what we say is, well, I don't know. I don't know how to grow. I don't know how to start a business. I don't know how to write a book. And the same thing I tell my clients is that's poppycock, because we live in the world of the World Wide Web, and there may be things we don't know, but we can find out. We have information at our fingertips. Remember, I told you all you need is God and Google. So the thing about I don't know, that knowledge gap, don't use that. Don't allow that to be an excuse to keep you from growing, to keep you from moving to your next level, right? So the next one is the timing gap. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. I don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. Guys, it's never going to be the right time, So when we talk about being intentional, when we talk about, commitment, because that's what being intentional is. It's making a commitment. So it's never going to be the right time. You're always going to find yourself inconvenienced by your dreams and your goals. And if your dream and goal doesn't inconvenience you, then it's probably just a hobby. Okay. So most people fall into this, and it's called the law of diminishing intent. The law of diminishing intent. And what that says is that the longer you wait to do something, that you should do today, you're probably not going to do it. That's right. You're not going to do it. So I want you to think about and be honest about what are those things you've been talking about doing for years, you want to do for years. You know, I always say your want to have met up with your will do. And that's what happens with that timing gap. It's a gap. It's an excuse. It's something. It's a Jedi mind trick to throw you off. Now's the time. Today's the time to start and get started. You know, don't fall into all those other traps that I mentioned before. Now is the time. More than ever is the time. So then the next one is the mistake gap. I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to make mistakes. I'm afraid of making mistakes. Get over it. And I say that with so much love because, hey, Rob Brown, hey, Derek. I say that with so much love because, guys, we're gonna make mistakes. None of us are perfect, and we don't know what we don't know. And so, when I said earlier when I was doing the recording, when I was talking to myself and it wasn't recording, you know, I've always done events. For the government, and it's easy to do an event when you are doing it for an organization. But when you start doing an event for yourself, and we started 5 years ago, there were just things that I didn't know. But I didn't know that I didn't know until I got into it. And so I made mistakes, but guess what? I learned from those mistakes. And so you and I both, we are going to make mistakes along our journey, whatever that journey is, as far as being intentional, as far as starting our riot, okay? So don't use that as an excuse not to commit to getting started, okay? And then the next one is the perfectionist gap. It's not the right time. I'm waiting for the best, fill in the blank. I'm waiting for the best. It has to be the best before I can start. Guys, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be perfect. And you are going to make mistakes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell the truth. So the perfection gap, let's talk about that for a minute. The perfection gap, it delays you. It delays you. The longer you're waiting to try to make it perfect, to try to make it the best, you know, I've got to, make sure I've got X amount of dollars first. I got to find the best book, the best plan, the best computer, the best coach. It's got to be perfect. Well, guess what? There are no perfect. It's not perfect. So stop. I need you to get out of that. It's a mindset, and it's another Jedi mind trick that keeps you from getting intentional and making the commitment and making the steps to move forward. So any recovering perfectionists? Yeah. And once you let it go, you find yourself just moving with ease because the universe will bring you what you need and put you into the place where you need to be at that time. But you've got to not allow yourself to be held back because you want it to be perfect. I was working with a young lady a couple of years ago, and she wanted to start a business in the clinical services arena, and it just everything had to be perfect. And the thing about it is she minimized her genius, and her genius, her perfection was she felt like she had to have certain things in place. Hey, Monica, thanks for joining. And the reality was she kept postponing and kept delaying her genius. She kept talking about it, and didn't do it. And then finally, guess what? Somebody else did it, and she was upset. Guys, listen up. Here's a clue. You cannot get upset when someone takes your seeds and plants a garden, okay? You cannot get upset when someone takes seeds and they plant a garden. When you had the seeds, you're just walking around carrying the seeds in your hand, okay? Waiting for it to be perfect. And so they jumped in, they did it, and they messed up. But guess what? They did it, and they're still doing it. She hasn't started yet, okay? Today is the day. Start today. Let it get ugly. Let it get messy. Because it will get ugly and it will get messy. But go ahead and just let it happen and learn from it and create a plan around it, right? Hey, Tammy Ellis, thanks for joining. And so the next one is the inspiration gap. I don't feel like it. Oh my God, I don't feel inspired. I don't feel committed. I just don't feel like it. Guys, listen up. If I did everything based on how I felt, I'd never leave my house. I wouldn't do Facebook Lives. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything if I did it based on how I felt. And I'm going to tell you this. Most days I feel pretty freaking amazing. But days like today, when I'm itching, my nose is itching, my eyes are itching, I'm just itchy today. I got stuff to do. So I can't fall into that trap. And it is a trap, guys. About I don't feel like it. You know, I'm not inspired. You got to inspire yourself. You got to encourage yourself because you've got big dreams. You've got big goals. People are dependent on you. People need what you have. But if you allow yourself to fall into the inspiration gap, I don't feel inspired today. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like making phone calls. I don't feel my counter to that is, do you feel like eating? Do you feel like having the heat on? Then you'll do it. Okay, you'll motivate yourself. We're talking about being intentional. Being intentional is not just falling into the idea and accepting the idea that things are just gonna happen. We gotta do something to make it happen, okay? Then the next one is the comparison gap. I find so many people falling prey to the comparison gap because they want to compare their, hey Monica, they want to compare their step 1 to somebody else's step 21. You can't do that. Where you are is where you're supposed to be, and where they are is where they're supposed to be. And so what you want to do is you want to learn from them. You want to grow from them. Hey, Mark Farmby, thanks for joining. You want to learn from them. You want to grow from them, but you don't want to compare, because what comparison does is it paralyzes you. Comparison keeps you stuck. Because you're thinking, well, Monica is over in North Carolina doing blah, 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 and I can't do it like her. And Mark's down in Mississippi doing the stuff with the gangs, and I can't do it like him. Guess what? Do you. Do it like you. Use your genius. You minimize your genius when you compare. You minimize your gifts, your talents when you compare yourself to other people. So stop that. Stop comparing yourself. And when you do that, you are no longer operating in intentionality. You cannot be intentional about what you're doing because you're comparing. And I'm telling you, all of these, I should change the name to Jedi mind tricks. They're just Jedi mind tricks to keep you on the couch. Okay. So we talked about that. So the last one is the expectation gap. The expectation gap. This is what y'all say. Oh, Lord, I didn't know it was going to be this hard. Oh, my goodness. It's a lot of work. Dr. Lowe make it look so easy. Guys, when you have a goal and a dream and being intentional, I'm telling you right now, it's going to require something. And it looks like work. It looks like work. It looks like long days, late nights, and spending some doggone money that you don't have, okay? But since we operate in an abundance mindset, we don't let our bank account tell us. We don't let our bank account direct our goals. Now, I know somebody's probably like, what she mean by that? Talk to me offline. I can tell you what I mean by that. Okay. So expectation, I want you to operate in expectation of expecting amazing things to happen, but I don't want you falling into that mindset that I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be, I didn't know it was going to be so hard. Other people are doing it and they make it look easy. You know why they make it look easy? Because they stepped out, they did it, they worked hard, they invested, they got with the right people, and they do the work. They do the work. Oh my goodness, y'all don't see me when I'm in here at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to bed at 4, and then I get into bed and I'm still doing some work. I'm still doing social media. I'm still doing newsletters. I'm still doing all of this stuff. I'm making my to-do list. It's work. So when you see it, it looks nice. It looks good. Don't inbox me and tell me I got a typo. Okay? I don't want to hear it because okay, it happens. I'm not trying to be perfect anymore. I'm just trying to get it done. Okay? And that's what I want you to do. Do the work. Step out and get the work done. So when we talk about being intentional, we want to make sure that we don't allow these gaps or traps to slap us in the face and keep us on the couch. Okay. Hey, Allie, we don't want to allow, because they will keep us stuck. And then next year, this time, we'll be talking about how it's going to be better. I'm going to do better. It's going to be my year. Guess what? It's your day. It's your day. Today is your day. Let's not commit to the whole year if we're not going to deal with today. What did you do today toward your goal, toward your dream, toward your riot? What did you do today? So let me tell you what you need to do. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. When we're talking about being intentional, we're talking about starting today. We're talking about starting right now. Whatever that now looks like, start it, okay? We're also talking about taking responsibility. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't blame other people, because as soon as something doesn't go right, we want to blame. Well, so-and-so didn't call me back. Or no, we're not doing that. Hey, Melody, thanks for joining. Take responsibility. Take responsibility for learning what you need to learn, connecting with who you need to connect with, going to events that you need to go to, like the Riot Starter Symposium coming up on February 3rd. Did you think I wasn't going to mention it? So take responsibility. Allow yourself to make mistakes, which means you got to take some risk. You got to take some risks, guys. And when you take those risks, you're going to learn just how strong you are. You're going to learn just how much you already know. You're going to learn that, wow, I should have done this 10 years ago. Okay? But you got to be willing to make those mistakes and grow from those mistakes. Turn those mistakes into your money. Turn those mistakes into your money. Write that down. You're going to see that again. And then don't get lazy. I'm not going to dress it up. Don't be lazy. Be ready to work hard. Be ready to work hard. Allie, that's the third, not the 23rd, the third. Be ready to work hard, because being intentional requires hard work. And usually it's not hard work for a long period of time. So I was talking to one of my, well, no, I'm not going to tell you that story yet. I'll tell you that story in a minute. Be prepared to work hard. Be prepared to persevere. And be prepared to fight for good habits. Be prepared to fight for good habits and fall out of bad habits. What do I mean by that? You know, we don't quit. Once you start, stay started. Stay started, okay? Because there's going to be some hills, some valleys, and some mountains. But it's okay. You can get through them if you've got the right support, if you've got accountability, if you've got a mastermind, if you're talking to the right people. See, a lot of times we're talking to the wrong people. So I was talking to a client a couple of days ago, and she was trying to figure out how to create revenue. Anybody want to know how to create some revenue? Come and listen to Dr. Dre, because he's going to talk to us about that. Theriotstarter.com, Allie. Theriotstarter.com. Thank you. And so she talked about just shutting her business down temporarily. Guys, how many of you know it's not temporarily? How many of you know once you stop, it's hard? If it was hard for you to start, it's going to be even harder for you to start back. So I tell folks, stop stopping, stay started. Stop stopping, stay started. So I told her, no, you're not going to close your business temporarily, because we know what that means. That means I'm done. I'm giving up. And you're not going to give up on my watch and tell people that I was your coach. So so what we did was, I said, you know, if you've got to do some other stuff on the side, yeah, I got that. That's good. I understand. But if you only seeing clients one day a week, if you only selling shoes one day a week, if you're only doing hair one day a week, guess what? Your business is still in action. It's still happening. You're still working, and you're not quitting. We don't quit. Riot Starters don't quit. We need to stop stopping and stay started. Stay started, guys. Somebody put that in the chat. So we need to fall out of those bad habits of wanting to stop, wanting to quit, looking at other people's gardens, seeing what they're growing over there. watching too many cat videos, So what I want you to do is make a list. Make a list. Those cat videos that have you caught up. Make a list of your bad habits. What are those bad habits? What are those habits that are keeping you from being intentional? What are those habits that are keeping you from growing? What are those habits? And whatever that habit is, the counter to that is the opposite of what you're doing. So if you're spending too much time on social media, then find out where you need to spend your time. Do you need to be in a group like Riot Starter Nation? There's so many amazing groups on Facebook that provide growth opportunities, okay? Maybe that's where you need to spend your time, connecting and meeting new people, okay? Connecting with like-minded individuals, okay? Are you watching too much TV? Okay, then maybe watch some TED Talks. All right. I'm not going to say, well, just shut it all down, because if you need to replace one thing with something else. So no, don't spend 4 hours a night watching TV, but maybe watch something that's going to feed your brain. We got to guard our eye gates and our ear gates. And so listen to some TED Talks, listen to some things on my YouTube channel so that you can grow, so that you can be fed, so that you can get those things that you need to start your riot, so that you can stay started, so that you can leave your mark on this world for your life, your business, your career, but most importantly, your legacy. And then connect with those people that you need to connect with. And one of the best ways to do that is by attending events. Attending events that are in alignment with what you want to do and where you want to go. So since I've opened the door to that, I want you to really consider attending the Riot Starter Symposium. It's an amazing symposium. We've done it for the last 5 years. And this year, we're doing something totally different, something totally new. We've got some amazing speakers coming in to help you be more intentional, to help you reach those goals and those dreams you said you wanted to reach. So, we were talking about revenue earlier. If you don't need no new money, just get off. If you don't need no money, if you don't want to know how to make some money, then you get off the check, get out the way, you in somebody's way. But if you want to know how to make money, say I do, just type I do in the chat, I do, then you need to come here, Dr. Dreon Birch, because I tell you, it's such a blessing to have met him and to hear him talk about all the ways you can create more revenue. It's amazing. And he's going to be right there at the Riot Starter Symposium, sharing tips and ideas and strategies with you on how to do that. Some of you have committed to making this year your best year, but you don't know how to do it. And so right now it's lip service. And so come on, listen to Dale Richardson talk about how to create that plan. He takes you beyond SMART goals so that when you leave the symposium, you have a working plan. Okay. And then Rob Brown, I hear so many of my clients talk about they don't have a support system. No one will support them. Well, my counter to that is you have to create this. You have to create what you need. Create what you need. Okay. And so I've had to do it. People that I know had to do it. And so he's going to talk about how to create networks of greatness. See, some of you have too many negative folks in your ear. Some of you are, and that's what's keeping you from being intentional about starting your riot. So Rob Brown's going to come and he's going to drop it on you about how to create a community of greatness, because you need to be surrounded by greatness when you step out and operate in your talents and your gifts and your genius. And then me, your riot starter. I'm going to be talking about mindset. I'm always talking about Gimmer, get your mind right, get your mind right. But I'm going to talk about the abundance mindset, the abundance mindset. What type of mindset do you need to have around abundance, and not just abundance of the coins, because we all know that we need coins, but abundance of a good life, good relationships, good networks, just what those things that you need to do to create that abundance around you. I'm also going to talk about how loss can be the catalyst for change. See, many of you have experienced losses last year, losses of jobs, losses of so many different things. You need to be there. You need to be in the room. You need to come and get what you need to make this year your best year. It's $97. Now, if you don't get your ticket within the next week to 10 days, it's going to be $147. And then it's going to be cut off. We're not selling tickets at the door. It's not that type of party. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to pay for your parking. And I'm going to bring my super friends out. I mean, what more could you ask for, really? For real. So, but it's an event that I'm committed to, whether there's 5 people in the room or there's 500 people in the room, because I want to see people grow to their next level. I want to see more people start riots for their next level, for their life, their business, and their career. And the best way to do it is by attending the Riot Starter Symposium. So, guys, that's all I have for you today. Hey, Kimberly Mills, thanks for joining. That's all I have for you today. My wish is that you have an amazing new year. If you're in Atlanta, I hope you got some bread and some milk and some bologna, because we're getting ready to have a half inch of snow. So and that you stay warm wherever you are. So, guys, thank you for letting me pour into you this afternoon. I'm serious when I said for 20 minutes I thought I was talking to people and recording, and it didn't record, and so which probably meant I just needed to be over here talking to y'all anyway. So I love you guys. I hope to see you February 3rd in Atlanta, Georgia at the amazing Commerce Club on the 49th floor. It's going to be fantastic. And I hope that you get intentional about starting your riot. So, hey, Jenna, I'll see you next Friday, 1 o'clock, and I'm going to teach you another law. Bye. Until next time.